Welcome to your region this week. I'm Anandi Carroll Woolery. In this episode, the province is strengthening supports for survivors of sexual violence through 2 trillium grants. A look at the local impact, and a Waterloo-based company takes aviation-inspired innovation to the water. But first, here's a look at the headlines with Carla Fitzsimmons.
Thanks, Anandi. The province is proposing to weaken an impending slate of new recycling rules because the producers of the materials say the system is getting too expensive. Ontario began transitioning in 2023 toward making producers pay for the recycling of their packaging, paper, and single-use items. The company's obligations were set to increase next year, but the government is now looking to delay some of the measures, as well as outright cancel others, such as the requirements to extend collection beyond the residential system. The region of Waterloo Public Health is working with local summer camps to curb potential spread of measles. Officials say 21 cases of measles were reported in Waterloo region between June 10th to the 17th. The director of infectious disease says getting the students out from the confined spaces of a classroom should help lower the chance of spread. Measles is an airborne virus. Officials say vaccination rates are high amongst the residents of Waterloo region, but remind anyone who is uncertain of their vaccination status to reach out to their healthcare provider. It's a scorecard that measures if Waterloo region will be ready to hold a population of 1 million residents by the year 2050. It's called Vision 1 Million Scorecard, and it comes from the Business and Economic Support Team of Waterloo Region, also known as BEST WR. It looks at what's needed to accommodate the increasing population and focuses on things like housing, healthcare, transportation, employment, and livability. Perth County officials gathered last week to celebrate the grand opening of a newly renovated central entrance and administrative office space at the historic courthouse campus in Stratford. Past wardens, MPP Matt Ray, members of the construction crew, and county staff were on hand for the celebration. The City of Brantford hosted a strawberry social last week to honor the adult school crossing guards. The event celebrated a number of service milestones ranging from 5 years of service to 25 years. The administration of the program will be transitioning from the Brantford Police Service to the city in September. And Brantford's bylaw department will be taking over the Park Patrol program. Since the 1980s, Brantford Police Service has been operating this program. The team will be patrolling Brantford's parks, trails, and municipally owned outdoor properties and assist with local school boards in reducing bylaw concerns. The transition will not affect the program budget, and there will be no additional financial impact on residents. The Township of Wellesley hosted its annual community barbecue on Friday. The community came together to celebrate the kickoff to summer.
Try to keep my hands from shaking. Something in my...
Events like this wouldn't be possible without the incredible support of our community partners. A heartfelt thank you goes out to the Wellesley and District Lions Club, the Paradise and District Lions Club, and the Linwood Lions Club for partnering with us to barbecue and serve up some delicious food this evening.
First of all, I want to thank Joe and the committee for throwing such a great party and for including me again this year. My husband Warren and I wouldn't want to miss this. This is a rite of passage. We know that summer is about to begin. You know, Carlo hangs out with a great group, and this police chorus just always lift my spirits, so you guys are really amazing. I should say you ladies and gentlemen, because there was a time when you were just guys. You know, every time I come to this rec center, I look at Bill Geese's name on it, and it just reminds me about how deep-rooted the pride in this community is. And community isn't just about the here and now, it's about the legacy we leave others, and this recreation center is just amazing. This is the second time I've been here this week, and it's always a pleasure to be here. And you know, I think The organizers need to be thanked, but I have to tell you, the worst thing in the world would be to plan a party and have nobody show up. And you know that that is never, ever a threat when you're in Wellesley, because there only are two kinds of people in Waterloo Region: people who live in Wellesley and the people who wish they did. So I welcome summer with the rest of you. Thank you, and on behalf of Regional Council, party on.
And if Chair Karen Redevin didn't use that line about Wellesley, I was going to steal it, so well done. You know, it's an honor to be here. Every year it's a rite of passage for me as well, and I agree about it's a real good kickoff to the summer. And the one thing I know is that we're always asked for more visibility, more engagement with our police and certainly our rural communities. So I think we showed up today. We did a pretty good job. We got as many bodies out here as possible, and we brought the most talented ones. Our volunteers are just simply incredible. We're very proud of the chorus.
The Waterloo Regional Police Chorus hit the stage to sing a few songs.
Coming up, investing in support. SAS is the recipient of 2 provincial grants. Details after the break.
Hey folks, it's me, Giovanni Petiti, the host of Not Tonight. It's the new late night talk show right here on Rogers TV. We got fabulous guests, a lot of laughs. It's just like the Jimmy Kimmel Show, if you order the Jimmy Kimmel Show on Wish. So join me Sunday at 10 o'clock right here on Rogers TV. Nice.
I was born and raised in Musqueam First Nation territory by my mother, who spoke Hunkaminam to me. As a child, I ceased using my mother tongue, as to use any language other than English was considered not being Canadian, so I was told. The old people came to me in a dream and reminded me of who I am and where I come from. I have reawakened. My roots are strong, and I'm no longer a silent speaker. My language tells me where I'm from. It defines me and guides me to teach others to learn and understand our culture and traditions. A gift for those in the present and the unborn generations. What was lost is found. What was asleep has awakened. My blood is here, and I am complete. I have returned home.
Everybody knows not to drink and drive, but some people still think it's okay to take drugs and drive. Police have the authority, the ability, and the tools to determine if drivers are impaired by legal or illegal drugs. And because drug-impaired drivers can pose just as great a risk as drunk drivers, they face the same penalties, like the loss of their driver's license, a criminal record, fines, and more. A message from the RCMP, the Canadian Association of Chiefs of Police, and Arrive Alive, Drive Sober.
Sexual Assault Support Center of Waterloo Region is launching 2 new initiatives thanks to provincial grants.
The first grant is a 2-year grant that we've used to address the long waiting list that survivors of sexual violence have to endure in order to access free counseling here at our center. And then the second grant that we received is 1-year funding to develop an online digital platform where they can receive free consent education and learn more about healthy relationships, healthy masculinities, and how to stay safe. So the website is currently in development, but it's going to be an online platform that's going to be fun and engaging for young people. We really want to prevent sexual violence before it happens. That's our mission, really, is to live in a world free of sexual and gender-based violence. And we know that that starts with young people and getting the right information to them. And we know that where are young people? They're online. And so by having an accessible, fun, engaging platform where they can learn about healthy relationships, consent, supporting someone in their life who may be experiencing gender-based violence, giving really them the tools and the skills and the content that engages them in protecting themselves, supporting someone that they care for, and really ending the cycle of gender-based violence. So about 2 years ago, our wait list was more than 300 survivors waiting to access free counseling here at our center. It was the highest it's ever been in the last 35 years, and we really were at a crisis point. Other centers actually made the difficult decision to close their intake program just in order to catch up with the really high demand that we were seeing in the community. We reached out to Trillium and put this proposal to them that we wanted to redesign our intake process so that we could provide more support to people while they were waiting. So we created a new pre-counseling group for people so they could get some support while they're waiting. We provided more intake counseling so that people could be stabilized if they needed help with reporting to the police or going to the hospital. We could be there for them in that moment and really address any of those needs that they have immediately while they're waiting for counseling. And then, thanks to some really generous donors from the community, we were able to grow our counseling team so that we could have more sessions available. And I'm really proud to be able to share that over the past 2 years, our counseling waiting list went from 300 down to 30 today.
Oh, wow.
And so more than a 90% decrease with this restructuring and the additional support from the community. We've really been able to get a handle so that survivors aren't waiting for the care that they deserve. There were a number of factors, and so there was sort of the rise of the Me Too movement that kind of permeated across the country, across the world, really, right? Where more and more survivors realized that they could come forward. They felt more comfortable acknowledging the harm that had happened to them and really reaching out for help for that first time. They realized they weren't alone in this experience and that they deserved to get the help that they needed in order to move forward with their lives. And so that's when we started to see it creep up and up and up. And then during the pandemic, we know that gender-based violence just exploded. Intimate partner violence, as well as sexual violence, human trafficking, all of those were impacted by the isolation and the stress and all of the issues that happened in that pandemic. And so again, it went up and kept creeping up and creeping up. And then we got to that point 2 years ago where we were like, what are we doing? People are waiting a year and a half, 2 years to get counseling after reaching out, taking that brave step to call and say, I need help, and then having to wait. That's not what we're about. We're here to support survivors today. And so we knew we had to change. And by reaching out to the community, letting our donors know how much we rely on their support and their donations to ensure that those survivors get the care that they need. And thankfully, the Ontario Trillium Foundation, they stepped up and invested in us at that time. So we have a 24-hour support line as well as online chat where if survivors aren't sure, it's an anonymous service. People can reach out and ask for help, and they can speak to one of our volunteers. Our volunteer can walk them through the services that we offer. If they are considering reporting to police, we have a legal advocate program, so they don't have to do that by themselves. We have a relationship with the Waterloo Regional Police Service where we can help facilitate those interviews and even attend the interview with them so that they're not alone. We can help them if they need to go to the hospital to get any care or to collect evidence. We can support them in that as well. So the first step would be to reach out to our 24-hour support line or our online chat. All of the intakes to our programs are available on our website. All of our services are free. I think it's important for people to realize that as a charity, we exist because of the generosity of our community. Our doors are open today because of the donors and the community members and the funders here who support our work. We could not do this work without the support of our community.
Stay connected with City News Kitchener. You will find what's making headlines here at home and around the world. Looking for traffic and weather information, plus the latest prices at the pumps? Click on the tabs to find out. Watch, listen, stay connected with City News Kitchener.
The regulars, the guys who keep this place in business. Last week, they had something to celebrate. Jason had just finished university. So they toasted his profs, his TAs, his old roommates. Well, they toasted just about everyone. But I worry about and take care of my guys. So even when I know they're not driving, sometimes that means bringing them a little surprise. And then they had a drink to me.
Brought to you by Smart Serve Ontario and Arrive Alive, Drive Sober.
Kitchener's perfect music mix is on Chime 96.7. So every song is someone's favorite song. On Chime 96.7.
Welcome to AGT Season 20!
We want bigger, better than we've ever seen before.
You have just set the bar for Season 20.
Hello, welcome to Lions TV Bingo. An announcement, we are now on Mondays. Yes, every Monday from now on, Lions TV Bingo is going to be here on Rogers. We'll see you this Monday.
Hey guys, Steph here from The Cruise TV, the show where we talk about the people and stories behind the coolest cars on the road. Join us on Sundays at 8 p.m.
I'm Wendell Clark with a word about winning. We all know it takes a team effort in any sport and with any challenge. You can be a part of the winning team that shuts out impaired driving. Whether you're out on the town or just hanging out with friends, drink responsibly. Always have a plan for a safe ride home for yourself, your family, and your friends. You'll be helping to shut out impaired driving.
Visit ArriveAlive.org to find out more. Arrive Alive. Drive sober.
It's becoming the Royal City's signature event to kick off the summer. The Good Games returns to the University of Guelph for a weekend full of sport, entertainment, and family.
So hard to explain what the Good Games are because they're something that really haven't been done before. It's a sports festival. It's like an Olympic-style celebration of sport. We have two parts to it. We have an athlete competition, which is for adults, but the biggest part is the Festival of Sport. And it's for everybody. It's free to attend, free parking, and I always say it's like a smorgasbord of sport out there. You can come try as many sports as you want. There's lots of interactive zones. You can watch a lot of sports. We have athletes coming from the Philippines, France, Brazil, Mexico. We have Olympians and pros playing on an Olympic beach volleyball court. But in and around the festival, there's just so much to do. I mean, you could just sit there and watch some of these competitions happening, or you can pick up a bat and try cricket, or you can try curling, or you can learn a little bit of martial arts. Partnership with the Indigenous Sport and Wellness Council, we do Indigenous activation, sports activations, learn to play the Creators Game or lacrosse. This year we have some really, really cool additions. We have freestyle trampoline, which is in the X Games next year, which is a very good one people might want to watch. We have the Super Dogs, which everybody must love because they're dogs. We have rope skipping again, everybody loved. We have roller derby this year. We have, gosh, just you name it. Really, there's just so much to see, to do, to experience. We have music, we have food trucks, you know, the vibe is there. It's probably like a festival nobody's ever seen before. You know, the one thing about our event, sometimes people think it's, you know, maybe not for their family. It's actually the most family-friendly festival out there. We have face painting for kids. We have balloons for kids. We have an inflatable obstacle course. We have a new Dora Bouncy Castle this year. We have inflatable games, tons of games for kids to play and to the entire family to be entertained and try. It really, truly is a free family festival full of a ton of activities and events you can enjoy or watch. The festival runs from Saturday, June 28th from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. and Sunday, June 29th from 10 a.m. till about 6 p.m. I promise anybody that comes, they're never going to want to leave. It's probably the most unique, special festival in Canada.
In sports, the Tee It Up Tour is returning this summer with 6 stops, including Elmira Golf Club and the Cambridge Golf Club. The qualifying round takes place on July 2nd at Puslinch.
The only not-for-profit tour in the area. All the funds that from registration fees go back to the players. The friendships that are formed, we're seeing the juniors come back, wanting to volunteer back on the tour, which is fantastic. We're really excited about that. And we're having juniors, join the tour at 11, 12, 13 years old. We've gotten to a point with this tour where October, I make a phone call to several different golf courses, and the directors of golf and owners at those clubs, they're jumping on it. They're like, yep, what can we do? How can we be involved? What do you need from us? It's not a tough sell to get golf courses to allow us to come on the tour anymore. They know what we're about. They know what it takes to run the tour. They know we're willing to put the time and effort in. And to have these clubs immediately say yes when we say, hey, can we come to your place and on any given day throughout the summer, and they're willing to have 60 to 70 players out there on the tour. It's special. You're doing something right, and other owners and golf professionals are buying in when they're jumping at the opportunity to be part of it. I thoroughly enjoy running the tour. I love being part of it. Carla's been involved for a long time. Don Tillman's been involved for an even longer period of time. But when I was a junior golfer, when Carla was a junior golfer, somebody was doing it for us. There was, the old Wilson Tour and the old Spalding Tour, and down in the Hamilton area where I grew up, it's, the old AccuForm Tour. There was golf pros, there was parents volunteering their time, putting the work in to give these juniors a place to play. And it ultimately worked out for me with ownership at Cambridge Golf Club, turned professional when I was 19, all of those things. So I love being involved because I love when the alumni are then calling us, hey, what can I do? What can I get involved? How can I help out? Danica Miller used to play in the tour. She gives back. She's at every event. She runs our socials. Anytime anybody wants to help out. So to stay involved, been in the industry for a long, long time, over 40 years, and to have the ability or the place for juniors to play on a fun yet competitive tour is the reason I continue to do it.
Still ahead, flying above the water. A Waterloo-based startup is using advanced technology to invent a zero-emission electric boat.
Hi, I'm Mike Farwell, and I'd like to invite you into this studio every weekday from 9 until 1 for a show that I think you're going to like. It's called The Mike Farwell Show, and it deals with the issues of the day. Local, provincial, national, even international. You'll hear from the newsmakers, and you'll get the chance to make news yourself when you call in and share your opinion. If you want to know what's going on in your community, The Mike Farwell Show is the place to find out.
Summer days, summer nights, lots of things to do, places to go, and people to see. If you're having a few drinks, be sure to plan ahead and get home safely. We don't want to pick you up. Drinking drivers risk injuries to themselves and others and take chances with their license, their jobs, and their future. Remember what's at stake and choose your ride, whether you're the driver, the passenger, or the party host. Thanks for supporting sober driving. I hope we never meet.
Visit arrivealive.org to find out more.
I'm Gagwege. My name means everything.
Tom Longboats.
I am Wolf Clan, Onondaga Nation. I've run many different races. I've run to survive and to be free. I've run to win for honor.
His people might be lazy, but this one's damn fast.
My people respected our runners, people who carried important messages from village to village.
I need a guide to the next post. Dispatch carrier, sir. I can get you there.
God's sakes, man, slow down. Who do you think I am, Tom Longboat?
No, sir. I am.
Running makes me feel alive. It's everything.
Tom Longboat was the first Indigenous person to win the Boston Marathon. He ran his way to international fame and became an inspiration to generations of athletes.
Finally, for us, taking advanced technology and developing an aviation-inspired boat. The electric boat flies above the water using advanced hydrofoiling technology.
This started with my passion for being on the water. And, I've had the family cottage up in Kawarthas for as long as I've been around. And after my last venture, where I was one of the co-founders at Arion Labs, we started with tech entrepreneurship, commercializing drone tech really early out of the University of Waterloo. Had a successful exit from that in 2019. Had a bit of time to get back to the cottage life, wanted to get out on the water. And just felt this huge disconnect between that clean tech experience that we now have in the automotive space. Driving EVs, I never go to the gas station, I never have to change my oil. Found myself wanting to get out on the water at the lake, and now I'm driving my EV to the gas station to buy gas for the boat. Right. I need to do an oil change. And I said, why don't we have the same thing happening in boating that we do in automotive, where everything is clean tech, we're not polluting the environment, especially when we're out on that crystal clear lake, and we're seeing people emitting gas and oil into the lake whenever anybody's filling up their boat with a jerry can. You get this oil slick at the end of the dock. Yes. And I wanted to solve that. And I really saw this awesome opportunity to take some of the experience that we had from the drone space, the engineering and the development there, which translates directly into the marine space, where we can build clean tech solutions, bring the experience that we had there for a better experience for boating, and really to look after the environment as well. So we've been working at this for about 5 years in the marine space, but really building a lot on the last 20 years of experience that we've had from electrification and flight control in the drone space. The intersection there really came from my understanding that when we got into marine electrification, and the reason that only about 2% of boats today are electric is because it takes so much power to push a boat through the water compared to driving a car down the road. So just replacing the drivetrain, which would be fairly straightforward, and you can put an electric outboard on your boat, doesn't give very good performance because you end up with really limited range and limited speed because it takes so much power. And it was that intersection of the decades of experience that we had in the drone space and understanding flight control, performance, optimization, building a boat which could fly over the surface of the water with a hydrofoil is really the innovation that we're bringing here. And that's been in the works for decades. I feel like that hydrofoiling high performance boat is really going to reset the expectations of what electric can be on the water. It's better in every dimension.
That's our show for this edition of Your Region This Week. Thanks for watching. I'm Anandi Carroll-Woolery. See you next time.
Connect with us by visiting our website or email us at comments@rogerstv.com.
Welcome to New York.
This friend group is honestly a beautiful, hot mess.
Oh my God!
We're all just here together, trying to make it.
I feel like I'm in an insane asylum.
It's so important having people to fall back to that you trust and you have love for.
Excuse me?
You still get money from your dad, $10K a month in allowance.
I would not be on the show if it weren't for me.
Oh, I love being messy.
Next Gen of NYC, all new Tuesdays at 9 on Bravo.
With clubs, leagues, and courts in every